Propaganda is a mode of communication aimed at manipulating and influencing the opinion of groups to support a particular cause or belief. Propaganda comes in a number of different forms. It can come in forms such as films, speeches, posters, and advertisement. Propaganda supports one ideal or belief while simultaneously distorting the truth or suppressing the counter-argument. It isn't only used for war, it can be used for such instances as trying to convince people to help out for different causes, for example, agricultural help, although the most common use of propaganda was during war. Propaganda was used to create certain feelings for the reader about different countries. It manipulated facts and information to create the desired response. Propaganda effectively drew on the emotions of people in society and developed them so that it appealed to the goals of the government forces. Okay, so let's look at a good example of propaganda. The Nazi government convinced the society that the Depression wasn't as a result of governmental failure. Rather, through the use of propaganda, they convinced the society that the Jews were taking the jobs of hard-working Germans, and this was effectively the reason why the Holocaust occurred. The German forces convinced their community through propaganda of the dire need to remove the Jewish people from the society in order to rectify the Depression. There are a number of different factors that we need to take into consideration when interpreting propaganda. For example, we need to consider what techniques are being utilised, who the major figures are in the propaganda, what message do we think that the propaganda shows, and what evidence we have of this. We need to consider, is the message subtle or overt? What country the propaganda comes from? And we need to think, is this an effective piece of propaganda? And why do we think this? We're going to look at one piece of propaganda and reflect on how it showed the key political agenda of the time to the community and the effect that it consequently had. This poster was made by the Germans to show the nature of the Jewish community. There is one major figure who is presented as the focal point of this image. We know the figure is Jewish as a result of the symbol shown in the background, which is a hexagram, which resembles the hexagram on the Israeli flag. The persona's nationality can furthermore be seen through the use of traditional robes that are commonly worn by Jewish personas. The message underneath the image, which is written in German, says Jews, a people of contagion. Contagion is defined as the communication of disease from one person to another. This would suggest that the Jewish people are spreading lies and metaphorical disease through their inclusion of the community. This therefore gives the impression to the German community that in order for them to get equal opportunities, it is integral to remove the Jewish people from the German community. Another powerful image that is used is the pile of skulls that the persona is depicted to be sitting on. These skulls are presumed to be German. Furthermore, the persona is holding a large bag of money, which links in with the idea that the Jewish population are stealing the well-deserved jobs from Germans. Furthermore, the use of the red background subtly points at danger, anger, and violence. This is an example of how we can effectively analyze propaganda. Now it's your turn.